Okay, it's recording. Okay, so here, what is a virtual private network? So virtual private is network is nothing but a connection, a private network establishment between the site to site. Or like for example, take a site of your company network. Okay, so normally what people used to do is like if they don't have VPN setup from their company network to the VPCs in AWS, so they can't directly access the
Okay.
private instances, right? So what they will do, they will
Okay.
create a Bastion server, a gem server in a public subnet, and
Okay.
they will be having access to that like Bastion server from their company network. They will allow inbound from their company network.
Okay.
Okay, people will log into
Okay.
the Bastion server. From the Bastion server, they will do SSH to private instances. Okay, this is the normal
Okay.
scenario people use previously,
Okay.
and in some cases, in some companies, they're using the Bastion way only. Okay, and
Okay.
what is the VPN is like you don't want a Bastion server to connect to a private instances, so you can set up a VPN, site-to-site VPN from your company network to VPCs in the AWS. So you don't need a jump server. You can
Hey
directly connect.
Madhu, your voice is not clear. Will you please check your network bandwidth and all?
Yeah, let me check once. So now,
Okay. Will you speak something and you can go slowly, like you are. Don't read like that. You
okay,
are.
okay, yeah, got
It
it, got
looks
it,
like a
got it.
reading.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
So, see, Madhu,
uh,
normally companies what they will do is they will use a
uh,
Bastion server, like a public
okay.
instance, which is placed in a public subnet
Okay.
as a gem server to connect to private
Okay.
instances. Okay,
Okay.
because you can't directly connect to private instances from your network, no.
Okay.
So that's why they will use a jump server, a public instance, which is placed in a public subnet, and they allow
Okay.
port 22 to that Bastion server from your complete CEDAR range.
Okay.
Okay, so then your company
Okay.
peoples in your company network when they connect to your VPN, so they will be within your company network. So in the Bastion server, you will allow port 22 for your company's network. So the peoples can SSH into the public Bastion instance using the public ID, public IP of the Bastion server, and then from the
Okay.
Bastion server, they will connect to the application servers, which is are in private server. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so normally for this scenario, people's will like we need people's need to connect to the Bastion. From there, they need to private connection, right? Private instance, right? So, but some
Okay.
companies like what they will say like we don't need a gem server to connect to private instance. Let's try to connect to the private instance directly from our company network. Like for example, you are an employee of some company A, so you logged into a VPN of the company A and you are inside the company network now. Okay, so you
Okay.
want to connect to the private instances using the private IP only. Okay, through
Okay.
SSH or through PuTTY, but
Okay.
it will not allow you because it's a private. Okay, within the VPC,
Okay.
so
Mm-mm.
the private instances don't have public presence, right? So for that
Okay.
case, and you also don't want to go through a gem server or a Bastion server, so then the VPN site-to-site VPN came in picture. Okay, what site-to-site
Okay.
VPN will do is you need to establish a site-to-site VPN's connection from your company network. Like there will be a router will be there, right? So in your company network, okay, from that to a VPC hosted on a AWS, you need to set up a one-to-one connection VPN setup. So you don't need a direct passion. Okay, so then what happens is when you set up a VPN site-to-site VPN with a VPCs, they become your own network. Okay, so they will be part of your company's network. Then you can connect to your private instances using the private IP. Okay, so that I will explain how to set up and what are the components involved in it. What is the step involved in it. So you got it
Okay.
right. What I'm explaining.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so first, what you need to do is there is a customer gateway. Okay, so if you go to
Okay.
VPC under that virtual private network, so you'll see a customer gateway. So customer gateway in the sense like we need to put our router details in customer gateway because we are connecting our VPC with our router, right?
Okay.
So that's why you need to first create a customer gateway. let's create a customer gateway. So you
Okay.
let's give a name. We'll have a company. For example, your company has 3-4 locations. For example, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mysore, or Delhi, like that. So let's create a customer gateway with our Bangalore. For example, take a Bangalore or anything. You can give the name here. So here there is an
Okay.
option called dynamic routing and static routing. So this
Okay.
routing will be given by your IT team. Okay, so you need to check with them. So what routing policy you are using in our router? Okay, for example,
Okay.
a company A has its internal network, right? IT will be having
Okay.
the company network, right? For that network, to the data from your company network to outside, and the outside data which is there in internet to come to your company, there is a router. Okay, there will be
Okay.
a peer connection. There will be peer IP will be there. That is the end. That is the starting point to your company network, and that will be the ending point for the outside. Okay, so that
Okay.
details we need to check with IT people whether you people are using a dynamic or a static. Okay, if it's static,
Okay.
if the static, they will be having a static peer IP. Okay, so the
Okay.
router will be having a static IP. It will not change at all. Whereas if you go to
Okay.
dynamic, so some companies will use a BGP, Border Gateway Protocol, ASNs. So the IP will be keep on changing, but it will be if you have the BGP ASN, so it will be accordingly. So if you use a dynamic, then you need to get a BGP ASN from your company network, like IT team. So they will provide which ASN they're using, and they will provide IP also of the peering IP of a router. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go with a static, they will just provide an IP. If they go with a dynamic,
Okay.
they will provide the IP with ASN.
Okay.
Okay. So you are AWS also need to know, right, when your dynamic IP got changed, your AWS also get to know, right? So where need to send the traffic. So that's why uh, when they're using a dynamic routing policy, so they will be having IP to the router with the ASN, BGP ASN. So you got it right. So that will be governed. So that is the one. So normally people's most side they will use static only. Okay, they will give
Okay.
IP of the router or a peer IP. Okay, so for
Okay.
example, we'll say uh, some IP that will be public IP. Okay, normally
Okay.
uh, of your router. Some take some public IPs like 3 dot or something 3 dot. Let's take my IP only. It will be public, right? So for a demonstration purpose, I'm telling you. Okay.
Mm.
So because we can't set up a VPN now because we don't have a company network, right? So I'm telling you what need to be set up, and you need to tell the IT team peoples with the details. So they will configure in their router. Okay, I will explain you
Okay.
as a AWS admin what's your roles in setting up VP. Okay,
Okay.
so for
Okay.
example, I'm just taking an public IP for example. That's it. Okay. So let's take
Okay.
this is the public IP of your company network peer IP or router. Let's say this is the IP. Then
Okay.
here the certificate. If you want, here you can select the certificate if you want. Okay. This is not you can say the ARM's a private certificate provision in the AWS Certificate Manager. So when you set up a VPC, you need you need an encryption connection. Then you need an ARM, okay, certificate,
Okay.
okay, to encrypt the connection. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, so here, let's go and create customer gateway. So you see, I didn't give any details, but it took it. But it is not a mandatory thing, right? That's why.
Okay.
Okay, so you have your customer gateway with a name, with your IP, okay, of your peer IP. That's enough. Okay, so you see here a gateway got created, customer gateway got created.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go, and then we need to create a virtual private gateway in our
Okay.
VPC end. VPC end. Okay,
Okay.
so what we are doing, we are setting up a site-to-site VPN from our internal network, company's network with a VPC, okay, of AWS to connect
Okay.
directly. So we need to
Okay.
create a virtual private gateway. So let's create a virtual
Okay.
private gateway. So here you need to give a tag or something. So we'll give a VPC1, okay,
Okay.
then create, okay. When you go to virtual
Okay.
private gateway, you need to attach that to a VPC.
Okay.
Okay, so because like we are like establishing a site-to-site VPN with our company network with this VPC. Okay, with the VPC. So for that we have
Okay.
created a gateway, but that gateway need to be attached with the VPC to which we are establishing a connection. Okay, let's attach a VPC.
Okay.
So if you go here, this is a VPC. For example, let's select demo. So this is our VPC to which we are setting up a citizen VPN from our company network to demo VPC. Okay, to connect
Okay.
to connect to the private instances directly from our company network. Okay, is attached. Okay, uh, done, right? Okay, so now its status is still attaching. Let's refresh it. Okay, it's attached. Okay, so now the next step
Okay.
is connecting the site-to-site VPN connection, creating a site-to-site VPN connection. Here, go here, create a VPN connection. Okay, so here give Bangalore to VPC1. Okay, so we are establishing from our Bangalore network to our VPC1. Okay,
Okay.
so here you'll get a target gateway type. So transient gateway I told you, I will come later. Next topic will be that I will explain again VPS site-to-site VPN setup with the transient gateway. So now let's concentrate on virtual private gateway. Okay,
Okay.
so we are selecting a virtual private gateway. So which is our virtual private gateway? This is the virtual private gateway which I have created. Okay,
Okay.
that is attached
Okay.
to our VPC demo VPC. Okay, next
Okay.
here the customer gateway. So we need to select. Okay, so existing. So we have a customer gateway we have created for the Bangalore. You see here, select it.
Okay.
So don't change anything. Leave it as it is. A routing policy dynamic. Okay, the stat here the tunnels inside. Don't change anything. So here, don't give anything. You don't worry about these things. Tunnel it will generate automatically. Okay. You can see here
Okay.
generated by Amazon. Okay. So just create a
Okay.
VPN connection. Okay. So your VPN connection is ready. Okay.
Okay.
So now it's pending state. Let's refresh it. Just refresh it. It takes little time for setting because you are establishing a connection, right? So it takes in the background some tasks need to be executed. So this will it
Okay.
will come to available state. Okay. So
Okay.
then what you need to do here, there is an option called download configuration.
Okay.
Just download the configuration. Here you need to ask your IT team which vendor, which platform you're using in your router. So there are vendors, right? Fi is there,
Okay.
Cisco, Checkpoint, Jupiter. What are the network solution they are using in the router? For example, people are using Cisco. For example, your IT team, bro, we are using Cisco. Okay, let's select
Okay.
the Cisco, and in the
Okay.
Cisco there will be a series. Okay, platform will
Okay.
be there. So because even the router
Okay.
is a machine, so inside that they will be running a platform, right? So you need to
Okay.
ask, so which one using? For example, he told ASA 500 series we are using. Okay, select it.
Okay.
And you ask like which software is installed. Okay, so
Okay.
for this
Okay.
one is the only one. Select different one. Okay, so if it's multiple one, you need to ask this thing: vendor, which vendor you're using, which platform you're using, and which software is installed, version and all. Okay, for
Okay.
example, they told
Okay.
like a series and the version is default, like only one version is there, so you assume this is the one, or you check with them once again. Just you download it. Okay, so
Okay.
as a AWS admin, your job is done here.
Okay.
So now what you need to do, take this file
Okay.
and send it to your IT team. Go and
Okay.
configure IPsec tunneling. Okay, so
Okay.
here all the details will be there, what your IT
Okay.
team need to perform. Okay, so
Okay.
they need to edit some file, IPsec file will be there. So they will
Okay.
add some details. Okay, see here, you can see here IPsec tunnel 1. There are two tunnels will come, IPsec tunnel 1 and tunnel
Okay.
2. So they will perform their site actions. So some two IPs will come. Let me show that. See, you can see here the IP tunnel group IPs will be there. You can see one IP and one more IP will be there. So you can see here IPs, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this you need to send it to your IT team, so they will take care of this in their side. So our side it's done. Okay, they need to
Okay.
configure this in their side, okay, in their router.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
what you need to do is like close it. Then once that side-to-side VPN is set up, so here you'll get the available or status you'll see here, okay.
Okay.
So and the details also you can see here, tunnel details. So there will be two tunnels. So they are still in down. Once they did a configuration from their end, so these tunnels will get up. They will say up.
Okay.
Okay. So because
Okay.
the status is pending, why? Because it's not configured in your local IT type side in the router
Okay.
configurations. They need to add
Okay.
in these details in IPsec. Okay, there will be file IPsec details will be there. Then you need to they need to add. Okay, so then
Okay.
just a minute, I'm getting a call.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what then what you need to do is this is okay. Once they did their configuration from their end, it will be available, and here you can see the tunnels are up. Okay,
Okay.
so then what you need to do is the next step, you need to take this gateway VPN
Okay.
VPN ID. Okay,
Okay.
so go to your route tables.
Okay.
So here you need to add route. You need to say
Okay.
uh, you need to say AWS Pro. For example, consider we have our company network range is 192.168.0.0/16 is our company range. Okay,
Okay.
here if you come here, you will get some connection virtual private gateway.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is our virtual private gateway, right?
Okay.
Need to select. So you are saying the traffic from our subnet, which are attached to this route table, to
Okay.
192.168, sorry, 168.0.0, or it may vary according to the company about their range they are using. To that
Okay.
company network CDR range, the traffic should
Mm.
go through this virtual private gateway.
Okay.
So then save it.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to connect from your local your company network to this VPC directly without using a jump zone.
Okay.
The same need to be done in all the route tables. Okay,
Okay.
you got it right. What is
Yeah.
VPC?
Yeah.
What is the customer gateway, and how you need to do. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is the one. This is the one way of setting up a site-to-site VPN. So first you need to do customer gateway. Here you will give the details of your.
Will you please repeat once again, Macha, today that VPN? Again, repeat once again.
Sure, Madhu, I will repeat it. Okay.
You can go by briefly and speak slowly, word by
Okay.
word.
Okay. So here, first you need to set up a customer gateway. Customer gateway in the sense the details of your company network.
Okay.
Okay. So if you go here, let me create one more. Let me create. Let me delete things. Okay. So it will some
Okay.
cast will be there. That's why. Let's delete this. This is simple. Don't worry. You'll understand.
Okay.
Customer by voucher private gateway. So you just need to detach from your VPC. Yes, detach. Okay, so then delete this virtual private gateway. Okay, then go to customer gateway. Just go and delete this customer gateway. Okay, so it's deleted. First, what you need to do is you need to give the details of your company network router. Okay, that there will be peering IP. That will be a gateway for your company network. So the traffic from your company network will go out through this router. Okay, there will be router will be there as an endpoint to your company network, and the traffic from the internet or outside of your company network will come through this router. Okay, so that details
Okay.
you need to get from your company IT team. Okay,
Okay.
So first you need to do create a customer gateway. This is all purely creating a gateway of our customer, like our company network details. So here you need to give some detail. For example, you are establishing connection from VP site VPN connection from your Mysore company network to AWS VPC. Okay, to connect
Okay.
directly from your Mysore office network to VPC. Okay, so private IPs. Okay, so
Okay.
here there is two options routing policy. So there is a dynamic and static. So routers will be having two types of routing policies. One is dynamic routing, one is static routing. Okay, static routing in
Okay.
the sense the IP of your peer IP will be there, right? Your router, it will be static, it will not change.
Okay.
Okay, whereas the dynamic, the IP will get changed.
Okay.
Okay, for that you will get like BGP ASN, so that your team will
Okay.
provide. So a combination of your IP and ASN will guide like how it change, and AWS can track that. Okay,
Okay.
so normally people will use static. If it's dynamic, they will provide a PIP of your company network along with the ASN, BGP ASN in the sense like border gateway protocol ASN number. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
then if it's static, they will just provide the IP. Okay,
Okay.
so let's consider this is your peer IP of your local network, your company network. So this is your router's IP, which is provided by your network team or IT team of your company. Okay,
Okay.
so then
Okay.
here there is an option called certificate. A certificate manager is there. You can create a certificate there. Okay, so if you want, this site-to-site VPN connection should be encrypted. Okay, secure.
Okay.
Then you can use a certificate.
Okay.
That I will show how to create when come to ASN. Okay,
Okay.
so if you don't want any encryption or something, you just give an IP, get a name, select a name, then create customer gateway. This part is clear for you.
Okay. Clear. Clear.
Customer gateway got created. Okay. Okay. So it came available now.
Okay.
Then next step is to create virtual private gateway. So the setup from your customers, your setup for your local IT or your company's network is done. Okay. Now you need to
Okay.
do a setup for AWS VPC to which you need to connect from your local or company network. Okay.
Okay.
So here let's go and create a virtual private gateway.
Okay.
Customer gateway is for company's network. Virtual private gateway is for our AWS network.
Okay.
AWS network in the sense a VPC.
Okay.
So give some name here. So for example, let's give a VPC 2. Okay.
Okay.
Create virtual private gateway. So we have created a virtual private gateway. Any doubt here?
No.
Okay. You need to attach to a VPC to which you need a connectivity from your company network. Okay. To a
Okay.
VPC. Okay. So we
We
want.
are, we are attaching a virtual private gateway, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, for example, I have a demo VPC. Okay. Inside this
Okay.
VPC, I have my private instances in a private subnet. Okay.
Okay.
I want to connect to those private instances from my network, from my company network directly without needing of jump server or a passion server.
Okay.
Okay. So you now what you need to do, you created a customer gateway for your company's router peer IP. Now you are creating a
Okay.
virtual private gateway for the VPC where your private instances are residing on.
Okay.
So this is my VPC. Okay, is attached.
Okay. Okay.
So now I have created a virtual private gateway and attached my VPC to which I need
Okay.
to connect from my company network without jump server.
Okay.
This is clear.
Clear.
Okay. So next step is to create site-to-site VPN.
Okay.
Okay, it's attached. Okay. Next, go to site-to-site VPNs.
Okay.
So here you are establishing. Now you have created a customer gateway. You have created a virtual
Okay.
private gateway. This is your company side configuration. This is your VPC
Okay.
side configuration, and you are doing
Okay.
establishing connection between the customer gateway and private virtual private gateway in site-to-site connection tab.
Okay.
Okay, so go create a VPN connection. So here you need to give a name, anything you can give. Since we are connecting, we are establishing connection with my Mysore network to my VPC, right? VPC2.
Okay.
So or a demo VPC, anything you can give. It's up to you, the naming convention. So here
Okay.
there are two options. Okay, you can set up a VPN site-to-site VPN connection using a private virtual private gateway or using a transient gateway. Okay, so
Okay.
till now I explained using a virtual private gateway. Let's create using virtual private gateway only. Once I complete transient gateway, I will come back and I will show you how to use transient gateway while setting VPN setup. Okay,
Okay.
so now we have selected virtual private gateway. Select the virtual private which we have created. This is a VP suite recently we have created and we attached our demo VPC to this virtual private gateway. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
select it. Then here we need to attach our customer gateway which we have created. See,
Okay.
Mysore we have created. Select. So this option is like to combine or establish a connection between the virtual private gateway and customer gateway. So customer
Okay.
gateway we have created and virtual private gateway we have created. Then we are establishing connection between those two now. Okay.
Okay.
Now come here. Don't worry about this. Leave it as it is. And these tunnel details will be filled by AWS only. You don't have to do it. You just need to give a name. Here, select the virtual private gateway. Select your virtual private gateway, customer gateway. Okay. Then save.
Okay.
Create
Okay.
virtual private connection.
Okay.
So you have virtual private connection now. Okay. So once it will come to available, it takes 5 to 10 minutes time. Okay.
Okay.
So the next step, once it comes available, what you need to do is there is an option called download configuration.
Okay.
Just download this configuration. Here you need to ask your company IT team like which vendor you are using. For example, router will be there. Router, there are a lot of vendors. Cisco will be there. F5 will be there. Jupiter will be
Okay.
there. Many vendors will be there. You just need to ask them
Okay.
which vendors you're using in your router. Okay.
Okay.
They will give you the configuration detail. So from there, it's loading. Wait, let's refresh the page. So if you go to download configuration, okay. So here you can see there are a lot of vendors. Yamaha, Sophos is there, Sonic Wall is there, okay. Palo Alto is there, and generic like Cisco is there, F5 network is there, Checkpoint is there. So these are the vendors, okay,
Okay.
of your routers and all. So let's say your company using Cisco.
Okay.
Select that, and you need to ask them which series platform you're using. Let's they give like ASA 500 series you're using. Okay, select that, and you need to ask if any multi software, like for example, version will be there. No, so you need to ask. If they say this, okay, select it. Okay, by default only one is there here, so select it, then download it. Okay, then open this file. You don't have to do anything here. You, your as an AWS admin, your responsibility ends here. So you just need to send this document, this text file to your IT team, follow the steps in this text file to set up to add a IPsec details in a router configuration and make a tunnel up. Okay, they will be knowing
Okay.
this how to do it because you will get some two IPs here that you need to add in IPsec details, the configuration details. Okay, for example, if you come here, you are seeing your VPN connection ID, customer gateway, voucher gateway, everything is there. Here, there is IPsec tunnel 1. There are two tunnels will be there by default. Tunnel 1, tunnel 2 will be there. So here, they need to add some details, okay, in their
Okay.
router IPsec details. So they will add it. You just share this to them. So you can see here IPsec, the IP address, okay. So this will be there. They
Okay.
will take care of this. You don't worry about this, okay. Once they
Okay.
once they complete their site activity, like establishing a IPsec connection to the details you are shared, if you come here, it will be available. And if you go to tunnel details, here the tunnels are down currently because it's not configuration is not done yet from company network side. Okay,
Okay.
they will do it once they add the IPsec details, and once they did like tunnel up from their side IPsec up, so these tunnels will be up. Okay, then you can establish a
Okay.
connection. So the next step what you need to do after this tunnel comes up, you just go to route tables. Hmm? So because we need
Okay.
to inform our AWS, like the traffic to my local or my company network or from my network, the traffic should go through where, because the AWS by default it don't know. So we need to specify them. Okay.
Okay.
So just here, for example, consider 192.168.0.0/0 is your company network. Okay.
Okay.
So here you need to go here. You can see virtual private gateway.
Okay.
Select it. This is our virtual private gateway we have created. Okay.
Okay.
Select it and then save the routes.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute. Oh, sorry. Here need a 16. Okay. So save the routes. So
Okay.
now the route details added. So now once the tunnel's up, you are able to connect to this connect to the subnets. Okay. These subnets. Okay. From your company network directly.
Okay.
So this is the VPN side-to-side VPN setup. You got it?
Got
The
it. Got
same
it.
thing, the adding entry to the route tables, you need to add in every route tables you are having and every route table which are attached to your subnets. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That is the side-to-side VPN setup.
Okay.
Here, the client VPN endpoints. 1 minute. Just refresh it.
Madhu, I will join in weekend sessions also, Madhu.
Yeah, not an issue.
Mhm.
So this endpoints, like I have never used, and normally will use side-to-side VPN only. I will go through it and
Okay.
I'll get back to you if you want. I think nobody uses that much. Okay, so you just need
Okay.
to know
Okay.
this how to do it. Okay, this is
Bro,
what.
just with just 5 minutes, you brief it like why VPN, why customer gateway, why virtual private gateways, why site-to-site VPN connection. Just 2 3 minutes. What is the
Yeah,
purpose?
yeah,
Describe in a single shot.
yeah, sure. I think at the starting of this call only I've explained. Again, I will reply that. Like again, a reply. Okay, I repeat that. Okay, first, for example, consider you are a small company. Okay,
Okay.
you have a company network. Okay, that range is 192.168.0.0/16. That will be private. Okay, inside your company.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
you decided to come to AWS. Okay,
Okay.
to host your applications, customer applications. So you have created a
Okay.
VPC. Okay, you have created
Okay.
subnet, public subnet, private subnet. You have hosted your private servers and private subnet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you'll do, you will try to connect to your private instances from your company network,
Okay.
but it will not allow because private instances can't be connected because private instance will be having IP, which is a private IP that you can't connect from anywhere. Like without a public IP or public presence, you can't connect over public internet. Okay,
Okay.
because even the public private IPs or private instances will be having some IPs, right? That will be available or used by your company network only or some other company
Okay.
network only. So private is not restrictive. Like you can use any companies can use those range internally.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't connect from your company network to the private instance directly. So the solution came in picture is using a jump server or a bastion server. Okay,
Okay.
so the bastion server, what you can use a bastion server is in your VPC you'll be having public subnet, right? So there
Okay.
create an instance with a public IP that will be a public
Okay.
instance. Hmm. In that
Okay.
public instance in the security group, allow port 22 from your company network. Okay.
Okay.
So now your company people can connect through the public instance over an internet using the public IP, right?
Okay.
And then in your private subnets, in the private instances in your VPC, go
Okay.
allow port 22 from this bastion instance.
Okay.
Okay. So within a
Okay.
VPC, the connectivity will be work.
Okay.
Okay. So what people can do now to connect to the private instances, they will first connect to the bastion instance, which is a public instance using a public IP.
Okay.
From the public instance, they will try to connect to private instances using the private IP only. So
Okay.
since they are doing a connection from within a subnets in the same VPC, the connection will establish.
Okay.
And you also
Okay.
allowed port 22 in all your private instance security group to allow port 22 from this bastion instance IP.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're adding the private instance, when you're adding the when we're adding entry in security groups of the private instances, you add the private IP of the bastion instance only.
Okay.
Okay, so now you've enabled port 22 from the bastion instance to your private instance. So your company people can connect to the bastion instance over public internet through using a public IP of your bastion. Then from the bastion server, they connect to your private instances. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, this is a scenario, and then people's thought like people's may, like for example you have 10 for example you have 50 to 60 people in your team and all trying to connect to the bastion from bastion to private instances. So since they are trying to access the instances using a bastion server, same common bastion only, so bastion servers, like it can hold the performance. See, uh, at a maximum, for example 50 people logged into your this one bastion server and try to connect there, so it will give a performance glitch and you'll see the slowness in accessing your private instances through bastion instance, right?
Okay.
So that's why instead of going through a public instance or a jump instance or a bastion instance to your private instance, let's connect directly to the private instances from our company network, okay,
Okay.
and do work. So there the VPN, site-to-site VPN comes in picture. So
Okay.
now what you will do in site-to-site VPN, you don't need a jump server or a bastion server to connect to the private instance. You can say
Okay.
how and how. So I can answer that. What you need to do is you're establishing a dedicated VPN, private virtual network connection from your company network to the VPC where your private instances are created.
Okay.
So it becomes the same network now.
Okay.
So your peoples, when they connect to your company network or when they enter your company premises and connect your Wi-Fi or company LAN connection, so they will be inside your company network. Or if they are working from home, if they connect to your company network via VPN, they are inside your company network. Okay. So you have
Okay.
established a VPN, site-to-site VPN from your company network to VPC where your private instances reside. So they can directly do SSH to the private instances using the private IP only. Got it?
Got it. Got it.
Okay. So for that, you need to create customer gateway. Here, as I explained you need to add your company side router. So that will be a gateway to your company. So where
Okay.
the traffic from outside will come inside your network, and from your company network to outside, it will go through the particular router only.
Okay.
So that's why you're establishing connection from that router to VPC.
Okay.
So that's where the create customer gateway comes in picture.
Okay.
So if you go to create customer gateway, here give some name. Here you'll give the IP and the routing policy of your router in your company side.
Okay.
Then create the customer gateway. So you'll see this is the customer gateway which you get created with the IP of your router. Okay.
Okay.
So then you need to go to, this is your from company side, it's ready to connect. From your
Okay.
VPC side, because you're connecting to this VPC, right? Site-to-site VPN. So you need to create a virtual private gateway. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go to create a virtual gateway, you don't need to do anything. Just give a name and create a virtual private gateway. Okay. So you
Okay.
see the virtual private gateway. So here you need to attach to VPC. Okay.
Okay.
So we are establishing a site-to-site VPN from our company
Okay.
network to a VPC. Say a demo
Okay.
is our VPC. Inside that, our instances are there, private instances.
Okay.
So our
Okay.
company peoples need to connect directly from the company network to these private instances in this VPC. So we are selecting this VPC.
Okay.
Okay, just attach it.
Okay.
So now this is the gateway
Okay.
through which our private instances traffic will go to our company network, and the traffic from my company network to the VPC to my the subnets or within this VPC will come through this gateway only.
Okay.
So now what you need to do, you have created a customer gateway with a customer or company network details. You have created a virtual private gateway with our VPC details. And then you're establishing the connection between the customer gateway and virtual gateway. In the sense, you're establishing the connection between our company network and to our VPC, which is in AWS network.
Okay. Now got it.
Yeah. If you go to site-to-site
Okay.
VPN, here
Okay. Okay.
is just a tab to establish the connection between
See,
them.
now the customer gateway means office network, right?
Yes, office network.
Virtual private gateway means VPC network.
Yes.
Site to site VPN connection means it will establish the connection between customer gateway and virtual private gateway.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. I am asking like that. Describe like this. You told entire. It's okay, no problem. Client VPN endpoints is not required, Madhu.
It's not required.
Okay.
You just download this and send it to your IT team people. They will configure in their IPsec, and they will make the tunnel up from their side. Then if you come here, the tunnel details, your tunnels will be up. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So then, as I told you, you just need to go to the route tables and add the route table entry like this.
Okay.
This is our company network. The traffic need to go through this virtual private gateway which you have created.
Here you attach like a customer gateway or
Virtual private gateway.
VPN gateway.
Virtual private
Virtual
gateway.
private gateway. VPN gateway. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's not VPN gateway, it's VGW.
Okay,
Virtual.
Madhu.
Okay. So this is how the site is
I think whatever yesterday, sorry, tomorrow evening also, I think you are going to cover this one more time to those guys, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Almost I got a good idea. I think tomorrow, I think they will ask some more questions now. Then it will be clear more.
Okay. Let me delete this gateways first. I can't because
So chargeable, Madhu?
Yeah, it will be site-to-site VPN. It will charge the bar. Because the traffic is coming to company network is this one, no? AWS network, they will charge.
Okay. If some charge also there, no, if we can raise case with AWS, they will remove it, right?
Yeah, they will remove for testing purpose. See, I have created, I'm deleting it now. If little charges comes also, Razer, they will release it because they will see, they will observe what you're doing. You are doing it not for a company side, right? They are doing for learning purpose. They will get to know.
Okay.
So that's why. Okay, it's deleted. Let's go to virtual private gateway. This is the gateway you'll attach in the route table.
Okay.
Let's delete the customer gateway. Okay, so next we'll move on to transit gateways. Okay, so previously what happens is like we used to use peering connections, we used to use site-to-site VPN for a single particular VPC. Okay, so why transit gateway comes in picture, I will explain. Let's go to paints. I will explain through that. So you're okay with my teaching, right? The way I'm teaching, the way I'm teaching you.
Okay, okay, Madhu.
Because anything, let me know. Okay.
Okay.
What does this mean? Let's consider if your company network company. Okay.
Okay.
So here, what is the text? So here, company network with 192.168.0.0/16. Okay.
Okay.
Is your company. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. Consider this is your router or something. Okay. Or a peer IP. Okay.
Okay.
So consider this. These are VPC. Okay.
Okay.
Inside we have VPC1, VPC2, VPC3. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go say VPC1, VPC2. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's consider you have a setup. You have done a setup from your company network to a VPC1 using a site-to-site VPN. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Site-to-site. Okay. So now your peoples in this company range are connecting to this VPC1 directly.
Okay.
VPC1 is an this private instances within this VPC1. I will try to show that also. Example, you have some subnets so that you have some instances. Okay. So they're communicating. They are doing SSH or they're doing PuTTY or they are taking RDP from your company network directly to this VPC. This one instances which is there in subnets of this VPC1. Okay.
Okay.
Now the requirement came. We have created one more VPC. One new customer came. So we are creating one more VPC. So again, you need to set up one site-to-site VPN with this VPN. Okay, to connect
Okay.
here. Again,
Okay.
again, one more customers comes. You need to set up again one more site-to-site VPN. Okay.
Okay.
So again, one more customer came. Sorry. Again, one more customer comes. So again, you need to set up a site-to-site VPN. So you are keep on establishing site-to-site VPN whenever a new customers comes, whenever you added VPC to your AWS account
Okay.
to do a direct connectivity to the instances which are there in VPCs. Okay. So
Okay.
you
Okay.
see the number of VPCs and number of tunnels they're getting
Okay.
increased day by day.
Okay.
So and even as for a single site-to-site VPN, it's a costed. Okay. Even the
Okay.
cost also getting increased.
Okay.
Okay. So now there is a overhead. So now your IT team need to manage all this IPsec. So because they need to add and enable tunnels in their side also, right? For them also it's a overhead.
Okay.
And you also need to keep track of the tunnels in your site-to-site connection, whether the tunnel is working or not. If tunnel down, you lose your connectivity. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a lot of gateways, there are a lot of customer gateway, there are a lot of virtual private gateway. So you need to manage and you need to maintain. Okay. So for
Okay.
this,
Okay.
and even the cost override also increase. So this, it's like it's a point-to-point connection. Okay.
Okay.
For example, if you establish a connection to the VPC1 and you establish a connection to VPC2, so you can't, by default, you can't get a connection from here to here. So the
Okay.
connectivity is like between these two, between these two, between these two, between these two. Okay, it's not transient.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so for to make this feasible, there are a lot of customers who raised a request or to a new functionality, to a new feature to AWS. So AWS comes with new feature called transient gateway.
Okay.
You understood why transient gateway in picture?
Got it. Got it. Like advancement of site-to-site VPN, right?
Yes, not side to side,
Okay.
not only side to side you can do a
Right.
VPC peering also. For example,
Okay.
you have these VPCs, right? That also will tell you.
Yeah. 2-3 days back, you told right that VPC peering advanced one is there, transient gateway. I will explain that like that. You told
Yes,
right.
that's right, that's right.
Okay. Okay.
See, for example, see, you have a requirement to set up a VPC peering from this VPC1 to VPC2. Okay?
1 minute. 1 minute. Phone. 1 minute.
Okay, okay, okay,
Madhu.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Tell me, phone. Yeah. Phone. చెప్పు అవునా క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా సరే పోను కంటిన్యూ మధు.
Okay. So you got a requirement because there are servers in VPC1 and some servers in VPC2. They need a connectivity. Okay. For that, I explained
Okay.
you there is a concept called VPC peering, right? You
Okay.
establish a
Okay.
VPC peering between VPC1 and VPC2. Again, one requirement came, you need to do a connectivity between the servers in VPC1 and VPC4. So let's you establish a connection again. Okay. But you
Okay.
see
Okay.
here, the VPC1 can communicate to the VPC2. The VPC1 can communicate to the VPC4, but this connection is not transient. So here
Okay.
VPC2 and VPC4 cannot communicate because there is no VPC connection between them. Okay, even though the VPC1
Okay.
able to connect to the VPC4, this is able to connect to this. VPC2 can connect to VPC1, and VPC4 can connect to VPC1. But here you see VPC2 can't connect to the VPC4, VPC4 can't connect to the VPC2 until you establish a VPC pairing. Okay. So
Okay.
here you see, again, there is a requirement for you came, okay, establish a connection between VPC2 and VPC4. Now, okay, now also, see, you see, there is a entire connectivity, but uh, entire connectivity, got it right? But the VPC4 need to connect to the VPC2 with a dedicated VPC peering. VPC4 can communicate to this with a dedicated VPC peering, and it should connect with this with a dedicated VPC. You see, for these communications, you need 3 VPC peerings.
Okay.
So here also there is a overhead increase. So you need to manage the peering connections. The cost, there will be cost for each peering connection.
Okay.
Okay. So for this also there is a solution in Transient Gateway.
Okay.
I will explain how Transient Gateway solve these problems.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the general previous, like they're using a site-to-site VPN with each and every VPCs. And for connectivity between the VPC, they're used to have a dedicated VPC peering with these. Okay, so if you see,
Okay.
it's keep on increasing. No, so again, if you got a requirement like, okay, establish a connection with VPC2 and establish a connection with this, and then establish a connection with this, and establish a connection with this. So and again establish a connection with this. So you see, the diagram is getting increased and number of connectivities are getting increased.
Okay.
The managing is horrid. When you get like issues, when you're troubleshooting, you'll get confused which VPC peering we need to check, right?
Okay.
So you'll get a confusion. So for this, the solution, the AWS give enhance the featurement in Transient Gateway. They created a feature called Transient Gateway to address both the issues. So the issue with the
Okay.
site-to-site VPN and also the issue with the VPC peering. So that we are going
Okay.
to look at now. Okay, so you got the scenario,
Okay.
right? Why the
Yeah. I got it.
Transient
Got
Gateway?
it.
Okay,
Got it. Got it.
so now if you go to Transient Gateway, okay, So now if you go to Transient Gateway, you just need to create a gateway, create a Transient Gateway. I will show you how it works in a diagrammatic manner also. First I will show how to create and what happens. Okay, let's
Okay.
go to create our test. Okay, Transient Gateway. So here description you
Okay.
can do any test. Okay,
Okay.
you don't need to touch anything. So if you see auto shared attachment, you can enable it. Okay,
Okay.
it's for cross accounts.
Okay.
So when you do you can share this Transient Gateway with other accounts also. You can use the same Transient Gateway. You can attach multiple. I will show how it works. Okay, there's an option
Okay.
called sharing. Resource manager will be there. You can share that. And you know this Transient Gateway is region specific.
Okay.
Okay, so create a Transient Gateway. You got created TW Transient Gateway. Okay, so now
Okay.
there's an option called Transient Gateway attachments. So before that, let me create one more VPC to show you a peering connection using a Transient Gateway, right? So create a VPC. We are creating a demo one. Okay, let's select the VPC range 10.0 1.0/24. Okay, create, close. Let's go to subnets. Create a subnet. Subnet 3 in our demo 2 VPC. Select any availability zone. Here give the range 10.0 1.0/28.
Okay.
Create. Okay, close it. Let's go to our Transient Gateway attachments. So we have created a Transient Gateway, right? You got it right, how to create Transient Gateway.
Okay.
Okay, next Transient Gateway attachments. Okay, go create a Transient Gateway.
Already you just have created Transient Gateway.
Yes, I have created only Transient Gateway.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will show again if you want.
I didn't see also. It seems.
Yeah, that's what. Let me. So nothing. You just need to give a name. That's it. Let me delete it and create once again. And this Transient Gateway the cost will be there. Okay, so create a Transient Gateway. We'll go create a demo Transient Gateway. Here give some details. That's it. You're just giving a name.
Okay.
Come down. If you have if you want to do a cross account sharing and auto accept of shared attachments, you can share your Transient Gateway. So if you want, you can enable. If you want to do a cross account pairing and all, just create a Transient Gateway. This is the way. That's it. Nothing else. Just give a name and create it. Okay.
Okay.
Go to Transient Gateway attachments. Okay. So here create Transient Gateway attachment. Here you need to select the Transient Gateway. 1 minute. Oh, wait. It's not reflecting. Let me go back. Oh, it's still creating. That's why it's not reflecting. It takes time because the gateway and all, no, they need to roll out a backend instance or for managing all this. So it takes a little time. Let's refresh it. It's taking time. So Madhu, we'll do one thing. We'll continue tomorrow.
No problem, Madhu.
Yeah. So, because it will take time.
From Transient Gateway, we will do one more time.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Madhu, we'll do it.
I think tomorrow morning we will take session. You take one tomorrow morning. We will finish this Transient Gateway. Again, you will take evening session as usual, 6 to 8.
Sure, Madhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Madhu. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. I think it came.
Okay. We will
Okay.
continue.
Yeah. Okay. So, which one? Okay. Transient gateway came. So we need to do transient gateway attachments. Okay. Go to transient gateway attachment. Create transient gateway attachments. You need to select the transient gateway. Here, this is the one we have created. Okay.
Okay.
Here you're seeing for which purpose you're building this gateway attachment for VPC, for
Okay.
VPN, for peering connection. Okay. So
Okay.
we are attaching this to VPCs. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Give VPC. Give select a VPC. So we are coding for demo.
Okay.
So inside that subnets will be there. You need to select those subnets.
Okay.
Create attachment.
Okay.
Okay. Close. So you have a attachment now. Okay. Go again. Create attachment for other VPC which we're having. Okay. Select the transit gateway. Same transit gateway. The type is VPC. Okay. Demo. So we have only one subnet there. Let's create it. Okay. Create a transit gateway attachment. Now select the peering connection. Peer. Oh, sorry. Gateway. The type is peering connection. So best. My account only. The region is same. Okay, so peering is for multi-account controller. So okay, this is for multi-account peering. So multi-region peering is one. So we'll go cancel it. So you can see we have created an attachment. So VPC1 and VPC2 are attached to the same transit gateway. Okay. So here, if you go to transit gateway route table, see a route table here, association. So these two are attached to this transit gateway, propagation, routes. So you can see the entry. Okay.
Okay.
So now what you need to do is you just go to your VPC route tables and add this connectivity between the your subnets. Just need check the route table once. But route. Okay, associations. These two are attached. Okay, propagation. Okay, from both the VPCs are there. Okay, routes. Okay. See, that's what we are seeing both the route, both the CIDR range right here. Okay. So now let's create one more VPC. We'll call it as test. CIDR range like 10.0.2.2.0/24, because I need to show you the transient nature. No, that's why. Create, close. Okay, 3 are created. Let's go and create an attachment for this new VPC. You're getting right. One transit gateway, one we have created. We are creating just attachments.
Okay.
Create a transit gateway attachment. This is the VPC type. Select the transit gateway, same transit gateway. We are giving here like a test. Okay. Select the VPC.
Okay.
This is the VPC which you have created. Go down. So we don't have any subnets here. So let me create on subnets. Go to subnets. Create a subnet. Let's name it as subnet 4. Okay, select our VPC, which is test. Select any available zone. Just give the range 10.2.0/28. Okay, great. Okay, close. So we have 4 subnets. If you go here, if you come here and if you refresh, okay, select the VPC test. Okay, it's not refreshing. Let's refresh. Okay, then give the name. Just simply select other one to get refreshed and go to test. Yeah, we are able to see our subnet now. Select that, create attachment. Okay, attachment got created. Let's go to a route table in the transit gateway. This is the routes. See, this is a route from our transit gateway there in our route table for subnet side. Okay, refresh it. It need to come here. Okay, it will come. Little time it will take to reflect. Okay. So now it will come. Meanwhile, I will explain how it works now. So, for example, here in the picture, you say you have a VPC1, VPC2, VPC3. Let me create one more file and show you. Okay. So, for example, let's consider this is your VPC. Okay. Take this and create. Oh shit. So we have 3 VPCs right now.
Okay.
In our previous scenario using peering connection, let's know VPC1, VPC2, VPC3. Okay.
Yeah.
In our previous scenario, what we used to do to establish a connection, VPC1 to VPC2, VPC3, and again you'll establish a connection VPC1 to VPC3. That if your requirement is there, for example, you have a requirement to communicate between VPC1 to VPC2, you will establish one dedicated. VPC1 to VPC3, you will establish one connection, and again you have requirement to establish. Again you will set up. Okay, again. Okay, there are 3 VPC peerings you selected. No, so now, um, okay, so this is the one. This is the previous scenario. Okay, now what you need to do is in our scenario, what happens is in new scenario, for example, case take this VPC. This is a VPC. Sorry, this is our network boundary of our AWS. Then we'll have a VPC here, VPC1, VPC2, and VPC3. Okay, so previously in our route tables we used to add peering connection. For example, in the route table we need to specify to this CEDAR range in the VPC1 subnets route table, a peering connection will be there. So this is a VPC, for example, let's so PCX ID 1, for example. This is a PCX ID, PCX ID 2. This is the gateway connection. This is the PCX ID 3. Okay. So you'll be having three gateways. Okay. And you need to mention like from VPC1 to VPC3, the traffic should go through VPCX in route table. The traffic from VPC3 to VPC2, the traffic should go from VPX2, and the traffic from VPC2 to VPC1 should go through VPC6. So you have three gateways. Okay. Whereas in here,
Okay.
this is the point to point, you can see. Whereas using a transient gateway, it's a mesh topology, like star topology. So let's consider this is the gateway. This is the IGW. This is the gateway which you have created, transient gateway. Okay.
Okay.
So you don't need to have multiple gateway IDs. Okay. You don't need to like enter multiple gateway IDs in the route table. So see, we have created a gateway, transient gateway. We have created a gateway attachment, right? So we have a gateway attachment. So we have created a gateway attachment. Okay. We have created a gateway attachment. Okay. You see, we are not establishing between these VPCs. We are creating a gateway attachment to the gateway.
Okay.
In the previous scenario, we are directly creating or VPC peering between the VPCs. Okay. But here, using a transient gateway, we are creating a gateway attachment to the gateway, transient gateway. So this is, you can see this is a point to point, point to point, point to point. You can see here it's a star topology.
Okay.
So for example, now you can connect to the VPC1. Let's say this is a VPC1. VPC1. In the similar way, this is a VPC2. In a similar way, this is a VPC3. Okay. And you consider here one more VPC you having, called VPC4. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say VPC4. Okay. So you also got a requirement like all the VPCs need to communicate each other. So you'll establish a connection from VPC1 to here. You establish a connection VPC peering from here. You'll establish a connection from here. So again, three more gateways came in picture. Okay.
Okay.
So again, this is the VPC, VPX4, VPX5, VPX5. Again here, VPX6. So total, you got 6 VPX connections, that is peering connections, and you need to add the routes in the route table accordingly. For example, from VPC1 to VPC4, you need the traffic should go through here. From VPC4 to VPC3, the traffic should go through this. From the VPC4 to here, this. You see the multiple, all are point to point. You're seeing many gateways here, right? In the same scenario, if you use a transient gateway, let's add one more VPC here. Okay. Let's call it as VPC4. Okay. You see the difference, right, between these two, how simple the structure became. Let's see, this is the VPC4. So now, again, your company told like we need connectivity to all the VPCs from our VPC4. You just need to create a gateway attachment.
Okay.
That's it. So now, got it? Now you have only one transient gateway ID.
Okay.
This is the TGW. Okay. Let's say TGW1. Okay. You see the comparison. See, both the structure serve the same purpose.
Okay.
Here you see the all complications. You need to create one-to-one peering connections. You need to manage 6 gateways, peering gateways. Here again, there is no one-to-one. It's the star topology. So there is only one gateway you need to manage, and in the route tables you need to add only the traffic. For example, from VPC1 to VPC2, you need a traffic to flow. So in the route table, you just need to add from VPC2. So the CIDR range of VPC2 VPC 1 and through gateway 1. So again, if you want to connection from here, just in the route tables here in the VPC, just add an entry to VPC 2 CIDR range, the gateway 1. From here, you need a connection, come to the VPC 2 CIDR range, the gateway is this. So you are using only one gateway. You don't need to establish a one-to-one connection now. This is called transient nature.
Okay.
So you understand why VPC transient gateway came in picture? To reduce the effort, to reduce the management. Got it right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go in the console and see. Okay. So let's refresh. See, we have here the route. So you see the CIDR range, the attachment, okay, through which the gateway transient will go. So now you just need to go to your route tables. So these are the route tables got created. Okay, when we have created a VPC, for example, go here. You see here which VPC it got attached to. Test. So from the test, you need to connect you to demo 0, demo 1, right? You just go to the route tables, routes, edit routes. Okay, parallelly open up one more browser, or you have here only, so no need. Okay, go to your VPCs. I'll show how simple it is. So so this is the 10.02.0/24, right? 10.02.0/24. You are in test route table. So you need to establish a connection with the demo 1 and demo 01. Okay, demo 1 and it's demo. So you just need to go here, add a route table entry, select the IP range. Select the IP range. Oh, sorry. To the 10.1.0/24. This is the IP range. Here you go here. You'll see a gateway option called transient gateway. You select it.
Okay.
This is our transient gateway. Select it and add one more route table for another VPC. Okay, demo 1. So here 10.0.20.0, right?
Okay.
10.0.20.0/24. Okay.
Okay.
You go here, transient gateway. Select that. Say now your established connection from your demo VPC, VPC 1 to VPC 2 and 3 in a single shot using the same gateway.
Okay.
Save the routes. In the same way, you need bidirectional now. So go to other route table, edit the routes, add route. So 10.0.1.0/24. Here the gateway is transient gateway. Select it. Add one more route, 10.0.2.0/24. The gateway is transient gateway. Select it. Save. So again, you established connectivity between the VPCs 2 to 1 and 3. Okay. Again, go here, route table, edit routes. Just add 10.0.2.0/24. It will go through transient gateway. Select the transient gateway. Again, go here, give 20.0/24. Select the transient gateway. Go down. Select the transient gateway. Select it. Save. That's it. You established bidirectional between these three VPCs. So the private instances or instances within these VPCs can communicate it to other VPCs instance now.
Okay.
how simple it is. Previously, what you need to do, create VPC peering one-to-one between the VPCs, and then go to route tables. Accordingly, you select the VPC peering ID and transfer the data, right?
Okay.
Here
Okay.
now you are going to the route tables. You are just adding the route to other VPCs through only one transient gateway.
Okay.
So this is a transient. You're not, for example, if we have three, we have not established VPC pairing between VPC 1 to 2, 2 to 3, again 3 to 1, like that we have not established, right? We just created a transient gateway. We have created attachment to the transient gateway. We take the transient gateway ID, came to the route table, we added that. That's it.
Okay.
So it becomes simple, right?
Okay.
You understood, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how the transient gateway simplified the solution of VPC peerings.
Okay.
So we go and then side-to-side VPNs. So the same way you go to side-to-side VPNs now.
Okay.
Create some virtual private gateway. Sorry, not virtual private gateway. So here you don't need to create a virtual private gateway. Just create a customer gateway. So just create a customer gateway. Give some names and test. Give some IP. One quiet. Close. Okay, come down in the transient gateway. Go to side-to-side VPN connection. Create a side-to-side VPN connection. Give some name. Test. So here there is an option called transient gateway. You just select the transient gateway. Got it right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to customer gateway. Test. Create VPN connection. So now you don't need to establish side-to-side VPN from your company network to each and every each and every VPCs. You just need to establish a connection from your company network to this transient gateway. So that transient gateway will be having connection to multiple VPCs. For example, you have 100 VPCs, you can attach that to VPCs to a transient gateway. Just establish one site-to-site VPN within the transient gateway and your company network. Okay. Previously, in previous scenario, you need to establish what? For example, you have 100 VPCs. You need to establish 100 site-to-site VPN. Okay. Now,
Okay.
using transient gateway, you don't need just attach all 100 VPCs to your transient gateway. Then do a site-to-site VPN connection from your company network to transient gateway. One connection instead of 100.
Okay.
Okay. You got it right?
Okay.
How it's simplified. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what the transient gateway made the use of. So for example,
See, go to transit gateway. In that, all is not required.
well, I will tell you. Here are the transient gateway we created. These are the attachments we have created. These are the route tables where you see the routes.
Okay.
Here are the multicast.
Okay.
Multicast I have now used. That is, it will
Okay.
normally we will use only these things for VPC peering and side-to-side VPN. Multicast and all will not use.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So network manager is like architects people will use some tool. It's kind of a tool to see how your network is.
Okay.
That's it. You don't worry. Only these three is enough for you.
Okay. Okay.
So in traffic mirroring, it's all like people will not use it and nobody will ask about this. And these are simple features they will add to do a graphical user interface like that. So this is the main thing in VPC, which and all I've explained you.
Okay. Okay, Madhu, we will stop over here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we will continue.